Is it an iPhone?
Oh, I should record it on my
Oh,
phone.
I got it.
Gotcha.
I should record it on my phone, huh?
It's just like we could totally do that. We can...
No, I got it. I'll send it to you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's
Okay. Gotcha.
focus.
Yeah, focus. Okay.
It's gonna come out whether we focused or not. It's gonna be like
Already there.
like it's already laid out. So yeah.
I already picked the cards.
Okay, so I was telling you, like, for this particular deck, I always like to start with a theme. And this particular deck, you know, like I said, was by Terry Foss. And as you see, like, this is Earth. So this is one that's, you know, asking, okay, let's ground in that Earth energy, you know, to be, you know, to pull in, like, from the world itself. You want to kind of, you know, pull that energy in. Maybe to be stable, to be grounded. So that's, like, the whole theme is learning, you know, to ground. Does that kind of make sense?
No, I don't understand none of that. I really didn't.
Are you familiar with grounding, centering? Like,
Yeah.
so like if you were to garden, to get your hands in the earth, you know,
Yeah.
anytime we do that, we take our energy and we ground it in the earth, you know, because that's where that electromagnetic field is telling you, okay, it's time to, you know, pull on
it's
that.
telling me it's time to do that.
Yes, you know, it's time to get grounded, you know, like hands in the earth, you know, like your feet, you know,
Right.
The earthing could be,
Stop
you
being
know,
so unsteady.
yes, and the barefoot, you know,
My
put your feet on the
instability,
ground. Yes, you know, to, you know, pull in that earth energy. And literally, when we think of earth, you think it's hard as concrete,
Right.
and to be stable,
Stability.
you know, stability.
Right.
Gotcha. Now, remember I told you there was going to be a phase. You know, what phase are we in right now? And this is the new moon. It's also in Scorpio, you know, card, but it's like work through your fears. So I know we were talking about, like, you know, the, you know, depression taking hold, and that's that fear of, is that going to take hold? Am I going to be able to move through this? Yes. You know, we're not going to let that fear take hold, you know, because that's going to be, you're going to be in charge of that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Your tools up here, you know, and I do skip around a little bit. So your tools, because it's bright green, it's like it just draws you in. So it's growth, you know. So like when we talk about, you know, getting out of the depression, we've got to grow, we've got to expand.
Yeah.
So we've got to, you know, put ourselves out there. And it's also in that green, it's that lush, it's that abundance, you know, when you think about growing. So this is calling you to, you know, not only in that grounding, you know, like, you know, working through things, it's time to just blossom and grow. It's the springtime. It's kind of, you know, like lines up, you know, with everything. So like, let that growth happen.
Okay.
And then I'm kind of looking over here at the, what this would be our runes, you know, card. The Fihu, which is literally, it talks about your possessions won or earned. Earned income, luck, abundance, financial strength in the present or near future. But for me, what really just stands out in this card, and that clear message for me, really is that abundance, that luck, you know, that, you know, bring in, you know, in that near future. We want to be able to put ourselves out there, you know, like, and know that there is that abundance, you know, of community. There is that abundance, you know, of, you know, like luck, you know, like that we want to just, you know, ground ourselves in that and to know that that community is out there should we want it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to jump
I
straight
don't know
over
where I
here.
find that community, but okay.
You got to, you know, ask for them. You're ready because there's a whole community out there. Like, you know, if you don't believe me, we'll invite you to mine. You know, we have a good time. You know, we get all like, you know, witchy and stuff. It's fun, you know. Over here we have like this butterfly maiden. She's like all about transformation, experiencing enormous change, you know, right now, so which brings great blessings. So that change is when we talk about like getting out, you know, of that. Right, you know, you've actually got to get out there and find, you know, people. So literally it's just getting out into the community. So this is calling you to transform what you already have. We go from like that, you know, cocoon into let's open up and let's, you know, let's grow. But this also tells me over here, the hermit, you know, introspection, contemplation, inner reflection, you know, benefits, you know, time spent alone. You've been alone.
A lot.
You've been in your hermit phase.
Yes, I
you know,
have.
But we're not saying that that's a bad thing, even though I know you said you're feeling like, you know, that kind of like that depression lately, but that gave you a lot of time for your introspection and to really go within, to really think on things around you. And like,
I've been pretty comfortable being a hermit.
Right. Some of us are kind of like, we want to go in and be a hermit, you know, like, oh my goodness, because it's kind of, you know, a bit crazy out there. But this tells me that, you know, this is closer to this past, you know, area. Okay, it's time to, let's put the hermit thing down. Let's get out
Time
there.
to stop doing that.
You know, and branch out and grow. You know, basically it's like, we're going to come out of our shell. We're going to find that community, you know, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does.
But then over here, I remember the divine resonance, you know, course mirror, like, you know, her whole card here is it's blue. It's, you know, when we think about like, you know, the universe, but we're going to go beyond the universe and we're talking multi, you know, like the multiverse. So when we say, where am I going to find that community? Like, this is telling me that there is an entire world out there. It's waiting for you, you know, that you have more connections. The message, you know, like, this coming forth for me is that we are all connected in some way. So like finding community, it's not going to be as hard as you think. You know, once you decide you're ready, you know, then it's going to come to you and be like, yes. And that could be in any, just getting that, you know, intimate relationships, you know, like are coming to me like, okay, you can have like this tight knit, you know, community. But then over here, we have the Clover card. And this is telling me like, you know, release your guilt. So that message literally is if there's something that, you know, you've been holding on to that you feel guilt over, is there something that's holding you back that maybe kept you in that hermit phase, like kept you in, like, you know, because if it is, it's like, okay, there's something we want to move past. There's a blockage there, you know, that we want you to be able to, you know, to ground, to grow, to center. And
My only
just
blockage is my grandchildren.
I think mommy's passing is a blockage for you.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Do you feel like that's kind of, when she passed, was there anything that you were holding on that you feel, you know, like there was?
I don't think it's a matter of guilt. I think it's just a matter of her passing.
Right. Just, you know, the.
Yeah,
you know,
the mourning thing, you know.
Gotcha. You know, so like, you know, but that always represents like a block, you know, to me. Like there's something you can't, you know, quite get past, you know. You know,
And not that you should get past it.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying
Yeah.
that, you know,
I have to live with
I think, yeah.
Well, I don't know about as much as just learn to live with once you acknowledge, you know, and once we, okay, this is what's going on. And when you can see it and acknowledge it, then it doesn't have that hold over us anymore. We can be like, oh, well, that wasn't as much of a blockage, you know, like as I thought. I can kind of,
It's a healing process. I think that's, it's, you got to heal. Even though you have a scar, you still know that it happened.
It happened. It's there. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay. But I can still grow from it.
Yeah.
I can still, you know, have that abundance and I can still have an amazing, you know, life despite everything that, you know, like happens
Yeah.
because things change. And like, you know, with your mom, like guaranteed she hangs out with you. Like 100% she's there.
God.
I would like to find somebody that can speak to the dead.
Yeah, I was telling her,
We
you know,
were
I'm
just
not
saying that,
necessarily, you know, I would never consider myself a medium. However, what I do have, no, you're good. I've had a few people come in, and I knew for sure over this gentleman, the young, I don't say young boy, you know, he was around 20, and he was saying like, we asked questions, and I was like, there's a lady, and she's over your left shoulder, and she's got leathered skin, and I'm like, it's not that I can see her, but I know she has leathered skin, she has dark hair, and she's about this high, and she's older, and he goes, does she look like this? And I'm like, yeah, he goes, that's my grandmother, and I said,
Wow.
she's saying she's always with you, so it's not something that always comes to me,
Right.
but if there's somebody there, like, I can, when I'm saying I can hear
It's
this
not something you
laughter,
have control over either,
you
so.
know, so I mean, guaranteed
It's a
your
thing,
mother is
yeah.
with you. I can hear that laughter. You know, she's like, you know, that's just what she have said. You know, what makes you think I'm not already here? You know, like doing the thing. So, I mean, it's kind of things like that.
And
that
she
comes
would
in
have.
bits and pieces. You know, that.
And
you
she
know,
would have.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
interrupt.
no. Sit down. Okay, so this, you know, bottom spread here. This is how I like to past, present, future. Remember, I said if there was homework, it's going to be over here, you know,
Right.
and then, you know, things that we are resisting against. So in the past, it's play is my pathway to joy. So this tells me that before this hermit stage,
Yeah. I was
you
never
used to-
home. I was
you
never
used
home.
to get out there. You
all the
used to
time.
play. You used to have a good time.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Always.
So when we read this as our past, and this is something that we want to strive for again, it's like, hey, where did that go? Like, let's get out and play. And that means anything that, you know, is movement for you, what you find your joy in, you want to, you know, get out and do more of that. So like, but right now you've left that in the past, you know, for the hermit stage. So we kind of want to be like, hey, I want to get out and play a little bit more.
And I don't
want
even
to
know.
do
I
that.
can't even guess what my joy is anymore. I really.
But we're working on it. So.
Right, and
trying
that's where I
to
was telling
figure
homework.
it out. Yeah.
You know,
We're
so
working
and
on
you
it.
homework.
I'm trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's And that's what we're gonna do. And like you said, yesterday, weren't you guys out for Girls' Day? You know, get out and find your Girls' Day,
Yeah.
have that joy, that connection, and just be out, you know, in the community. Grab the people at the table next to you and be like, yo, like, hey,
Oh,
come
trust
on
me,
in.
we know how to socialize. We just haven't been
You gotta do
socializing.
it.
Right.
You gotta
Exactly.
do it. You gotta do
I've
it.
always,
Exactly.
Yeah, I've always been out part of the community.
Well, then, yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it's like,
Always.
Yeah,
bring
she
that
was.
joy
Yeah.
and play back into that.
Yeah, we
you
were
know,
never.
so-
I was never home.
right.
Getting, between me and my sisters.
Gotcha. And then there's this this position is the things that you're kind of you're not against, you're just resisting a little bit, you know. So with this, it's like I'm on the right path and I'm divinely guided, but you're resisting.
I'm
that.
fighting
Yeah,
myself.
you're very much kind of pushing against it a little bit. You know, it's like we all know, but it's like, yeah, let me just put the brakes on a little bit, and girl, let go of the brakes. Let's go full speed ahead, you know, into that divinity and calling on spirit and being like, okay, like I'm ready to get out and find my joy. I'm ready to go play. Let me call in, you know, that divine help, you know, and it's okay to do that. And that divine help might be calling on your mom, because that's our ancestors now, and like they're always there for us, you know, so we can call upon that. But I like this card and the position that it's in. This one is literally our present, what's happening right now, you know, in your present day. And you can see this beautiful goddess with, you know, this little moon, you know, in the belly. It's like, I live each moment with presence of gratitude. So even though it's been hard, you still find that gratitude.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that's actually a plus. A lot of people, this is always in somebody's homework card. They can't find the gratitude. They can't find that silver
No,
lining.
I'm grateful. I'm not hungry. I have some place to live. You know, I'm grateful for what I have.
And that tells me
That I know.
you're very much.
That I am.
So yeah, but now remember that challenge we were saying. Okay, what are you?
No, I can't do that position.
Right. Well, I don't know. Let's try. You know, you might
That's
surprise yourself.
done. That's done.
So, but again, like it kind of, you know, I feel like this blockage thing. I forgive and I let go with loving ease.
Oh,
Oh.
never. That's why I can't.
Oh.
I'm not in that position at all.
Oh.
Right.
At all.
Excuse me, her toes are hurting her. Wait a minute.
She's
Okay.
like, wait.
Hey,
No,
her
no,
toes
no,
are hurting.
no,
You're
no.
stepping on her feet right now.
I
Okay.
jump on time. I hate from the cradle to the grave.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Give her a minute. Let her get over the pain of the truth.
Yeah, this one is when I was saying if there was ever a homework, there's always a homework space, and this is your homework. You know,
But
is
that hurts me so bad.
okay. So
I cannot. For me to let go, it's not even a matter of forgiving. I cannot let go. If I let go, I physically get sick.
Well, maybe if you start by not saying I cannot.
But this is what it's always been for
Okay.
me. And I was trained to be that way.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
So like
Because my mother tell you, she said, if you're dead to me, you're dead to me. You
Right.
walk across the room, but you're dead to me. That's it.
okay,
And so I was trained to be this, and I've learned to live that.
okay.
So it's harder for me to let that go at this point.
So how does she?
So we proceed with the key word being that forgiveness. Okay, most people think, okay, if I forgive, then I have to let it go and just forget about it, and it's okay.
No.
So
I
we're
don't
not
think
going to do that. It's like that forgiveness. And when we say, I've got to forgive that person, that doesn't mean that you have to go to that person and say, I forgive you, that we're
Right.
good now.
It's just something I
This
do
is
for me.
for you. This
Yeah.
is only for you.
For
So you
you.
don't have to carry that burden, that
But
weight.
I've done it. Every time I do it, I get hurt. Look at my granddaughter. Look at my grandkids. Really.
Okay, you're thinking of forgiveness in a different way. You're thinking of forgiveness to me. Okay, you're thinking of forgiveness in a different way. When I used to see this guy at my job who really got on my last nerves, okay, when I would see him come down the hallway and I would find myself getting angry at him just because he breathed air, okay,
Yeah.
I discovered that he had a power over me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
And the power that he had over me, I gave to him. I gave him that permission to piss me off.
Right.
I gave him that permission. And
no
by
other
letting
person
it
has
go,
that power over you.
okay,
No.
by letting it go, I regained my strength.
And
Okay.
they don't have that kind of hold. That
And they don't
God
have
can
the
give
power.
over you.
Exactly.
So basically, you forgiving, that because
That's
for
a
you,
lot of homework because I don't see it that way.
And this,
Well,
it'll never
homework.
happen
No, I'm saying
overnight.
that would be a
Yeah.
lot of homework.
Yeah, this is
It's homework.
never a overnight kind of thing,
Mhm.
and it's always in that challenge and that homework position because it's hard. because it's hard. If it was easy, you wouldn't be here. You know, so.
And I noticed the taste in my mouth
Yeah.
when I would see him. My mouth would become bitter.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
and I didn't like the taste of it.
Mhm.
And so I don't know why, how it's correlated, but it has some type of chemical reaction.
And that's your spirit. That's your being. That's the very core of who you are. This person is just like vibrated you in a way that you're like, look, we're not even friends.
It
You're
makes
not
me
even
feel
in my-
good not to let it go. Don't ask me. It makes me really does. It really makes me feel good. Like my son's my son has three daughters.
Yeah.
Their mother.
And you don't have to like her. That's not forgiveness.
It makes me feel it. I'm glad I don't like her. You know what I'm saying? It makes me happy that I don't like her. It makes me happy that I don't like her.
It's okay.
Well,
Okay.
That's the whole thing. You
But
know,
it makes
like-
me happy. I'm just saying. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that I feel like I can't forgive that she did.
Yeah.
I overlook a lot of things that have been done because of my grandchildren, but
Okay, so
I
is there
can't forgive
any
and let go.
is there any guilt there about I've overlooked this? Maybe I shouldn't have overlooked it. Maybe this is where we set down.
No, I have to overlook it because otherwise I don't want to hurt them. You know what I'm saying?
Them or
Their
not her.
children.
Okay.
I don't care about her.
Okay.
You know, if she's hurt by, oh well. But as far as my granddaughters, I have.
you don't want them to
relationship
see
with
that
them,
side of you.
Right.
You know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's
But
very
No, I don't have no
understandable.
guilt for that at all.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So, all right. So now when we move forward, once we put in our homework, because we're gonna have to get there, you know,
that's
like
homework.
say that's
Okay.
some real homework. But in your future, so as we start to grow, as we open up to this multiverse, you know, and the powers that be, and we're bringing in that goddess power, we're bringing in that God, that spirit power, that divine. In your future, it says, "My dreams reveal that magic is real and anything's possible." So that being in your future, once you are clearing your blockages, you're doing your homework, and that's where answers start showing up in your dreams. And you have like, you know, this tells me that you'll have the power of like that dream magic. So when you do open up to that, our dream state is where messages come in. It's where our ancestors, you know, can come in. When you dream of people, it's not by accident. They are there, you know, because that's the easiest way they can communicate is to come in through dreams. You know, I've had people come in to where in their dream, it foretells the future. They'll get stuff that, oh, now I have this ability. I can look forward to the future. This is going to happen. I've dreamt it. You know, so I see a form of dream magic, you know, coming your way. But we got to unblock all the blockages, you know, to get you there.
Yeah,
And
because
that's
you know
like,
I haven't dreamed in quite a while, really.
But I feel like them blockages are in place.
That's
you know?
why. 'Cause
So
everything
as you
else in a
take
way.
and you start peeling away the things, you know, that are holding you back, and we get grounded and we find our joy and we find that community and we open up to grow, then you're going to get there. But we've got to go through the motions to get to the future.
And there's a lot of work, huh?
That's a lot of work. Now, is there anything in here that you have questioned? You don't make sense. It doesn't like resonate at all.
I know the hermit part. I know that I have to make the transformation.
Got to make that transfer.
I got
Got to
that.
grow.
And I understand the growth.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
We already know you're living in gratitude, you know, for what you've got, you know, being grateful.
Oh yeah, I'm very grateful.
Um,
It's just that forgiveness demon over there.
it's not just forgiveness, but it's
I'm
also
just
like
joking.
That's a
I'm
big
just
part of
joking.
it.
I was just joking.
We know.
But the other one is like, you know, I'm literally on knowing that you're on the right path, that you're being divinely guided in everything you do. You're still kind of pushing on that, so that's like these two.
Yeah.
You know, so once we know that spirit comes in and is guiding you, you're like, is it though? Like, I don't know. Let me resist on that. And you're like, yes, we know, but we're just still something about it we're going to push against. So that and this going to be the two homeworks.
Can she take a picture of your card?
She can, but we're going to pull a final card, you know, on top of everything, and then we'll take a picture of that one. So as you see, just like that.
Let me see. Clover.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, releasing, you know, a blockage, you know, like letting it go.
Okay. So how does that? Because How does the clover represent? I don't understand how that.
So clovers, when we think about like, see, like in this picture, and you have all this, like, I've got like the pocket full of clovers. You've got that good luck. Everything is all in that. You've got to let go of, like, it says release your guilt. Anything that's the guilty pleasures. You've got to release blockages. You've got to release guilt, so that you can bring in that abundance. And you see the two girls here. In this friendship, you're going to let things go. In order to, bring in that, 4-leaf clover, that abundance and stuff.
All right. I think I basically got it.
Okay.
That's me. That's that. For me.
This one definitely said this is position you're in.
Definitely.
Now, out of all of these decks, I'd like to pull a final kind of, a finalizer card for you. Is there a specific one you'd like me to pull from?
No.
So just, you want me to pick one for you?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go to this one. I like this one. Just because it's hard for me. Let me see if there's some challenges in here. Like, let's see if there's some,
something to
something,
get me
yeah,
through
look,
it.
yeah. It's like, getting you through this thing. It's like, it's just,
Get me through it.
so, well.
Uh-oh.
So, to get you through it, you ask, what can we do together?
Right.
We are all sisters, and we reflect the divine in one another. So, like, you just told me you had that girl thing. You have that sisterhood, and literally that's your solid right there. So to get you through it is your sisters. And that sisterhood there. And then finding that community.
Yeah, we always dependent on each other.
That's right. And there's nothing like sisters always be there.
Yeah.
So
And there's 3 of them.
there's 3. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
So yeah,
I used to always wear sister pins with 3 girls
Right.
for a long time.
She had 3 daughters.
And I had 3 daughters.
Well, hopefully that was what you were looking for. Hopefully it helped, in some way.
Yeah.
Take a picture of your card so you can remember.
So yeah, most people have to hold it flat this way to get all their cards in there.
Mhm.
So.
First I had to work the phone.
Oh,
I turned it off, remember?
that's right.
Because the insurance
Thank you
company
so
called
much
me.
for seeing us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's one of my favorite things to do is to open up and receive messages and
I
talk
really
through
appreciate it. I
things.
really do.
Mhm.
So, and I hate that I didn't get to meet your mother in person. I would have loved to.
I wish she had. She would have loved coming to you.
We would have fun.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I came in here one day and they were having a sidewalk sale,
Yeah.
and I bought my Great Dane in, and you were giving me a reading.
I remember that. Yeah, I knew. I was like, I know a reading.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So do you still have your great?
Oh yes, she was very disappointed that she didn't
Her
come.
Great Dane has her.
Yeah.
Great Dane. Oh, that Great Dane's baby. She was
Yeah.
like, don't move the tail. Don't move the. I'm like, come and sit down. You're just gonna be like, shake that tail all you want
All
to.
she
It's like,
wants to.
like, oh my goodness.
That's her.
She just loves to
That's
go.
Gracie.
Now, how have you been since that reading? Like, because you were struggling for a minute there.
I'm still struggling,
you're
truth
still struggling?
being told. My daughters are very good to me, but they're very cruel to each other.
Gotcha.
And that's a hard pill.
Volatile.
Gotcha.
It's a hard pill.
Let's say volatile to each other.
But other than that, I've been good,
Awesome. Well, if you're ever out with that baby, you bring her.
Oh, I sure will.
And she'll be very
And-
happy to visit.
Yes, honey, she'll be
She was
extremely
happy to
happy.
visit that day.
She'll be,
You know,
and
she's
she don't
like-
care what it is. She really thinks she's just a little girl.
Okay, I'm going to stop